summer just around the corner and 2 months into the USL soccer season. It's an all-Western Conference clash. Live from the StubHub Track and Field Stadium here in beautiful Carson, California, it's the LA Galaxy 2 getting set to tussle with the visiting Tulsa Roughnecks. A very warm June evening here in Southern California. Great to have you along on ESPN Plus alongside Brian Jordan. I am Christian Miles. A big one tonight, Brian. Two teams that are currently in the wrong half of the Western Conference standings. They got off to rough starts at the beginning of the campaign, but starting to turn things around a bit.
Yeah, we've seen that in the last few home games here. Galaxy's obviously come together, if you will, starting to get a great understanding of each other's play and scoring a lot of goals. As for the Tulsa, you'd like to see them come out. They don't have a win yet, so I like to see them be a bit more aggressive. Being on the road, kind of defensive, but I'd like to see them be more aggressive.
And perhaps it'll take a little of the pressure off of them being away from home. Don't let the standings fool you. Yes, they're one of two teams that haven't won in USL this season, but 7 draws in their last 8 games. They're a tough nut to crack. Going forward, they haven't had a lot of goals, like you said, but when they do get them, Joaquin Rivas has been integral.
Yes, he's been their big player. I believe he has 6 goals out of his 11 appearances, and he'll be one to watch.
Well, we'll see what we get from the Salvadorian. Of course, Michael Gamble expected to get the start here. Part of 4 changes from the team that drew 1-1 last Saturday against OKC Energy. As head coach David Vidril still looking for that first win. We shall see. It's the 7th meeting between these two. LA with a slight edge with 3 victories in their prior 6 encounters. Just 1 defeat, of course, and that coming the last time out when they met up in Oklahoma last September. Let's look at the Galaxy right now here, coming off a great run right now. They're scoring goals for fun. Who else? Ethan Zubak getting the job done.
Yeah, he's been really great to watch in these last 2 home games. I think last game, the quickest recorded hat trick for him in just 8 minutes in USL history. So I'd like to see him be just as confident and bring that into this game.
Back-to-back games without defeats, and they've taken 4 points. Only 1 loss in their last 4 after not being able to get a win in their first 8. So things starting to look better here as they look to inch their way up the table. It's a good one tonight. It's LA Galaxy 2 getting set to take on the Roughnecks of Tulsa. We'll have the starting lineups and much, much more, including the first half kickoff next.
The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Cutting back, how sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward.
Going forward is a Frenchman. He's tired. Seren is going to catch up to him. What a ball and what a finish.
Now Keane, flag has stayed down. Robbie Keane, yes! The Los Angeles Galaxy are the first to 5, and Donovan goes out a champion.
And we welcome you back to Car City, California. A big night tonight in the Western Conference. It's 12th hosting bottom 17th place Tulsa Roughnecks in town to take on LA Galaxy 2. We take a look at the lineups here, Brian, for the visitors. They're going to make 4 changes from that team that drew 1-1 on Saturday. Paris G providing a little width, a 4-3-3 setup. Keep your eye on Ivan Mrkovic. A lot of the creative playmaking runs through him. Levin will sit just a bit. Francisco Ugarte will partner Claudio Munoz, the Chilean, in the heart of that defense, with Vukovic at right back and Morton playing at left back, and Fabian Cerda, the 29-year-old Chilean, looking for his second shutout of the campaign. The first of 2 meetings between these two. Let's take a look at the way it shapes up here. For Mike Munoz and Los Dos, a change in goal tonight here, a little bit of an eyebrow raiser. Justin Baumstieg with the senior team up in Portland after that 1-1 draw against the Timbers. He'll come in, or he'll come off the bench, and we'll see Wade Hamilton enter the fray, and Miguel Aguilar comes in for Bradford Jameson to provide some width. Boucher, well, and one of the top performers in terms of assists with 5 this season, but Andre Zaga providing that muscle in midfield. What do you make of the changes? What do you make of this approach tonight from Los Dos and Mike Munoz?
I think they've seen a lot more, like I said, in the last few home games, a lot of the players are getting more familiar with each other, and tonight we have the same starting back line the last 2 games, so I think they're looking to build on performances.
Well, it's a team trying to right the ship right now. We'll take a look at Los Dos in a minute, and you're looking at the head coach for the Tulsa Roughnecks, the 15-year-old former DC United left back. You have to go way back in the time machine. David Vaudreuil, part of those great Bruce Arena DC United teams that won the first 2 MLS Cups in the mid-90s, and now in his 2nd season in charge. Disappointed with the result against OKC. Not disappointed is this man. 34-year-old Mike Munoz has really seen his team turn a corner. We mentioned that winless start, going without a victory in their first 8, but they've only lost once in their last 4. They're scoring goals for fun.
Yeah.
Happy, happy days, and coming off a club record 7-2 thrashing of Las Vegas Lights that was highlighted by Ethan Zubak's performance. He talked about his hat trick in just 8 minutes, had 4 on the night. He's coming off back-to-back hat tricks here. Something is clicking. What's changing, Brian?
I think it's just the quality of service, you know, the opportunities got, and the confidence. As a player, that's one thing you do take on from day to day, from training into the games, and with his last 2 performances, obviously, get the ball on his feet, take some shots, and he's been putting them in.
Well, these two, of course, in the bottom parts of the Western Conference standings. We are underway as they both look to climb their way back into playoff contention. And just a matter of 5 places and 3 points separating these 2 rivals, and it will be Tulsa starting us off this evening in the whites with orange trim, and Los Dos, of course, LA Galaxy 2 in their home navy blue, and some quick passing down this right-hand side works its way forward, but the Galaxy able to win it back and trying to play it forward for Ethan Zubak. Side foot attempt by the German Boucher does well to win it. Possession is going to be paramount tonight, especially for 2 teams that like to keep it on the floor, knock it around. Push forward now and easily intercepted. Tulsa, one of 2 teams yet to win in USL, the other being Toronto FC over in the Eastern Conference. They come in with a record of 7 draws and 4 defeats. They've been tough to beat. Coming off back-to-back 1-1 draws away to San Antonio and Saturday night against OKC Energy. Perhaps a little better than their record indicates.
Yeah, a little bit on that stat, actually. I've seen them do a really good job in their games of getting behind the ball, but if you look at their record with all these ties, you're going to have to get a little more aggressive and start to send numbers forward, so we'll see if they do that tonight.
Nicely headed away by the big Cameroonian, Jean Angola. As you mentioned, Brian, 2nd consecutive game with the exact same back 4, as Angola will partner the Ghanaian-born Emmanuel Appiah at the heart of that Galaxy defense. Interesting to see the 4-4-1-1 with Mendez just behind Zubak, but it's positive football right now from Joaquin Rivas. He's the danger man, their top goal scorer with 6 goals. They recently bid adieu to Francisco Arce, the Argentinian's loan spell over, and subsequently returning back to Independiente. They are looking for goals right now. Tulsa team that's only found the back of the net 10 times in their first 11 games. You certainly think that their modus operandi is to come in here and try and keep a clean sheet if they can and nick one. And here's Julian Boucher. Back for Ingula. Little high pressure right now from the Roughnecks. And push back for Apia, who will use the keeper. It's Hamilton, a little duress right now. He did well with it, but coughs it up. Josh Morton storming forward from a wide roll as Ulysses Yanez gets his first touch here in the near side for the Galaxy.
There's that aggressiveness I was talking about. Very pushed up the field, putting some pressure on Galaxy's back line.
Yeah, real strong posture. Confident approach here from the visitors, and they've won it back. It's robust soccer here as Rivas right in the thick of it. Twisting and turning, and finally the whistle.
Letting them play a bit there, huh?
Little slight edge of the physical. Last year here in the meeting in July, it was a 2-2 draw. Adrian Vera and Justin Dillon hitting Los Dos off to a great start, up actually up 2-0 at halftime, but Tulsa came storming back on goals from Jadama as well as Svantesson. See if they can close up shop. Certainly defending has been an Achilles heel all season for Los Dos, conceding 26 times in their first 12 games, second most in USL. Starting to tidy things up, however. Positive play here from Tulsa, but nicely intercepted at the back. Requejo doing well at left back, locating Ulysses Yanez, and the young teenager with a nice step through. Remember, he's just 17 years of age and recently back from training camp with the USA Under-20s, and he's at the center of it right now, and it's Yanez pulling the strings. He'll get support on the right-hand side, and that one blocked by Tulsa. First foray forward here for the hosts. And that one pumped in, not exactly dealt with very well by Tulsa, but they get themselves out, and the counter is on. Good tackle at the back that time by Apia, who's really looking the part here. Big, strong physical presence alongside Ingula.
Seeing a lot of positive stuff through the midfield of LA Galaxy.
A drop of the shoulder. Requejo's gotten in behind, and a nice recovery at the back from Josh Morton.
Yeah, on those last two attacks, Galaxy did very well possessing it. Little short balls to the midfield, and we were able to get a shot that was deflected out, and now we got a corner.
Well, we'll see what's in store. Wearing the armband, of course, is the 25-year-old German, Julian Boucher. And he can tee him up with the best of him. Tops and assists for the Galaxy. So they can pry open this Tulsa defense. They'll take it short for Requejo. First time hit, Boucher straight in. The keeper doesn't deal with it. On the rebound, cleared off the line. Second chance lucky. And the Galaxy strike just 6 minutes in. Off the set piece and into the goals. Just the beginning. Los Dos wanted 1-0 here in Carson.
Yeah, well, the goals are raining here in LA. Boucher with the great corner kick. You'll see they play a short one. Let's wait for this replay.
Miguel Aguilar, second chance, lucky, right place at the right time from Aguilar, who grabs his 4th goal of the campaign.
Yeah, we got a short corner, comes back to Boucher, great corner kick in. Puts the first one on target, and that's what you want to see.
And the hot streak continues here, Brian.
Aguilar, very good to just keep his composure after the first miss, gets another chance at it, and doesn't make a mistake on the second one.
Well, the goal coming off the corner kick, it was nice delivery, and Tulsa just couldn't deal with it. And Aguilar with 2 chances. He's really shown well in training. The coaching staff coming up here and kind enough to tell us how much he has impressed as of late, and that's why he's one of the 2 changes from the team coming off a real impressive outing against Las Vegas Lights FC.
Yeah.
And a lot of eyebrows raised. Hey, you come out a big 7-3 win, a club record for a game. So you wouldn't think he'd change the team at all, but Mike Munoz not afraid to make those changes.
Yep, Munoz has been telling me he's been doing great at training, and so that's why they were happy enough to give him the start tonight. And he tops that off with a goal right away.
Far left-hand side, and here comes Tulsa looking for the quick response now. Center of the park. Supported by Morton, who's come forward from right back, pumps in the cross, and not the best of hits from the former Cal Golden Bear. Kid from Valparaiso, Indiana, the rookie, now making his 10th appearance for the Roughnecks. And big change here. What do you make of Wade Hamilton? He's got the only clean sheet this season for Los Dos. They've almost got a 3-headed monster in terms of goalkeepers.
Yeah, we've seen some different faces in goal, but from what I've seen of him, he's a great shot stopper, and I think just getting some more minutes under his belt will be good for him tonight.
And making his 5th appearance of the season. Tulsa looking for their 2nd shutout of the campaign. As it comes out wide on the near side from Morton. And Tulsa have had the better of possession here in the early stages. Zubak coming out and showing some high pressure. Morton gives it away. Buscher only too happy to oblige. Head up for the German, and it last goes off of the Galaxy. So a throw-in here for Tulsa. Had a real rough start to the campaign. We mentioned 3 consecutive losses to OKC, Real Monarchs, SLC, and thumped by Orange County at home, but they've recovered well in their last 8, but just haven't found that elusive win. Only succumbing to defeat once since the end of March. Oof. Beautiful first touch and a turn now from Alex Mendez, the young teenager, trying to pull the strings, and the flag is up on Ethan Zubak, offside against G2.
Going back to that high pressure again, you see it from Tulsa, but they got to do better of picking up that striker. He comes underneath and was able to collect it all too easy. Yeah, here it goes again. Oh, we have another counterattack. Slips him in. Maybe Zubak just hold the run, let the guy get around the outside, and we can continue play.
It was very tight. So Tulsa dodge a bit of a bullet there. Busy Saturday in USL, as usual. And Tulsa content to try to utilize some width on that left-hand side. Good-looking cross and meeting it head on here. Dangerous ball. That's Paris G, the Canadian. Nearly beat his marker to the near post, and a brush with disaster there for the Galaxy, but they come away unscathed.
Yeah, as the Galaxy defense, you'd like to just see that ball out. Make sure that runner isn't getting across the goalkeeper, even if you have to shield him out a little bit. Kind of a dangerous play.
And the Galaxy 2 wins, just 1 defeat, and that came, of course, back in April to Didier Drogba and Phoenix, and 2 draws here at StubHub Track and Field. Trying to make their home ground a fortress, so to speak. Here's Ingola, who brings it down. Not the best first touches from the Cameroonian. Knocks it back, a blind ball. G only happy to take it and tries to cut the angle. Disastrous defending from the Galaxy, but Tulsa can't capitalize.
Yeah, bit of a mix-up once the ball comes down to his feet. Tries to play a back pass. Too dangerous. Pick your head up, maybe just get that out of bounds.
Correction, that's Michael Gamble, who's come in wearing the number 9 and leading the Tulsa line in replacement of Jean Pires.
If you see that early in the game, though, a lot of the times kind of wakes a player up, knows he needs to be a little bit more safe, and maybe you'll see some earlier clearances from him.
Only Toronto have conceded more goals coming into today. Near side trying to keep it in. Nice touch from Gamble, the English-born striker, but it's dispossessed this time by Apia. And Buscher looks up and hits the long diagonal, well measured and nicely weighted for Zubak, who tracks it down. And wait for the cavalry to arrive, and a darting run inside, but led too far in front, and that one goes astray.
Great early ball from Buscher.
He can ping it across the entire park, can he? He'll operate in tandem with Andre Zonga, who does a little bit more of that dirty work in the center of midfield.
Yeah, they're a good pair in there. A little bit of bulldogs breaking up plays. This is good from Tulsa, working the ball around.
And Zubak reverting to a right-sided role as Aguilar slides up central. Mendez just shadowing underneath, showing out the flexible tactics for Mike Munoz. Here's Morton.
Galaxy's defensive shape just giving them all kinds of trouble getting through.
And claimed by Zonga. Head up for Zubak. Flag stays down. The hottest striker in all of USL. Already with 2 hat tricks. The Galaxy actually with 3 hat tricks, and you throw in Efrain Alvarez's exploits earlier this season. Of course, he's unavailable this evening. The international call-up for the Mexico under-17s as they get set for their big tournament in the Netherlands next week. And of course, Jonas Amaya is still out with that ACL problem. Ugo Ariano slightly ill and unavailable. Flag will stay down now, and here comes Michael Gamble, and Tulsa beautifully worked in. The finishing touch just not there. Did the keeper get a piece? That's what they're claiming. Tulsa wants the corner kick, but they're not going to get it. But once again, this is pretty good build-up play from the visitors.
Yeah, came off of a kind of bad turnover from the Galaxy, but once they get it out wide right, very early cross, very good weighted ball. It's one of those tweeners where the keeper has to come out. Does a good job, goes down early, and no touch off the keeper. Should be a goal kick.
Simplest of tap-ins and a well-constructed move from the Roughnecks, and it was Rivas unable to convert.
Yeah, if you're Tulsa, you'd like to see your goal scorer put that one away, but
a little disjointed in the attacking third, but they've asked the questions, and out will come Hamilton.
yeah, one thing I've talked to Mike Munoz about is we've been doing good scoring all the goals here, but just cleaning up the defensive line, and we give a little bit of a turnover there, and it results in a dangerous play.
And that's where it all starts, at the back. Ziggy Schmid talking about keeping the 0 ahead of the Dallas game. Kind of the same mission statement here in the USL for Mike Munoz.
Well done.
Good play on this left-hand side.
Tavares, dangerous down that side.
And the Ghanaian Tavares with all that pace. He's going to be problematic, isn't he? And he's earned himself a free kick. And this is perilous, to say the least, for Los Dos. We'll see how they defend it. Certainly have that robust presence in the center of the park. The likes of Engel and Appiah, and protected by the muscular Andre Zanga. The all-African trio. We've seen it all too often, as we saw with the Galaxy goal. Set pieces can really prove to be defining factors. So we shall see what's in store. Nemanja Vukovic standing over it here. The Serbian wraps his left foot right into the heart of that Galaxy penalty area before it's cleared away by Boucher, who did well.
Handball.
Right in front of the referee as well. And Tulsa with a player in difficulty. Well, we've got a moment. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, all you have to do is visit selectsportsamerica.com to receive free shipping orders on orders over $50. And that one flicked.
Going back to that goal there, yeah, Boucher just with a great service again with the short corner, and Alvarez making no mistake.
There's an air of composure about Tulsa despite the scoreline. So Aguilar with the difference maker early on. And that long diagonal. Problematic there, and tracking back is Zonga to clean up the mess at the back. You know from your playing days that communication between that midfield and back four is so important.
Yeah. Especially out of those outside mids and outside backs.
So Mort plays it forward. Here's G, and has it blocked by John Requejo.
Yeah, with the runners going through, like you said, there's got to be that communication. Who's picking up who, or else, you know, they get in behind and get great service out of that.
See what's in store here. So first corner of the evening now for the Roughnecks, trying to capitalize. Let's see what they can put in. It's going to be Joaquin Rivas. Plays it in. Out comes Hamilton, sure-handed. You like to see that from your keeper.
Tulsa's been able to produce a few corner kicks late, so they've had a lot of possession and still looking good for them.
Now Rivas, who's the informed striker right now for Tulsa, scoring in each of the last 2 games. Boucher wins it back. It's a real calm, smooth composure, and he'll use his feet for the keeper Hamilton, who's comfortable with his feet. Something it's almost a prerequisite for all goalkeepers these days. to be able to come out and play that sweeper-keeper role.
Yeah, they have a bit of a competition between themselves a lot of the times at training. Which keeper has the best touch? It's fun to watch.
That's a long tradition for the Galaxy, going all the way back to the Jorge Campos days.
Yeah.
Here's G with his head up. Nice cross, takes a deflection, however. A good job of utilizing that width. You always say every goalkeeper wants to be a striker and vice versa.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many of them actually got a few juggling tricks more than the field players do.
Tavares has done well here. Good link play, flag is down. The cutback, nicely constructed, but Rivas' first touch lets him down. And sustained the pressure behind Morton now. They found the gaps between the lines. This is G, first time hit, and that one will sail over the head of Hamilton. And a goal kick here for Los Dos.
A lot of great play out of Tulsa right now. That cutback, just specifically, they got their heads up, being very dangerous.
And you can see Julian Busher not at all happy. Just trying to get it to click, however, is Tulsa. Out without the suspended Adrian Usino, usual starting right fullback. Part of 4 changes tonight, and it's given away once again inside the Galaxy half by Tavares. Good 10-minute spell, a solid response after the goal in the 6th minute. 4 draws and 1 defeat on their travels this season so far for Tulsa. This is Apia. Oh, he's done well. Zanga just tries to really link by pushing himself forward into the midfield line, but that one is a little too heavy for Zubak. Morton for Tulsa. He's trying to find his way through. Clever touch there from G, and referee's going to call this one back. So Morton just bowled over Julian Busher. He's been at the center of everything today.
Busher put himself in a good position defensively, and guy ends up bumping into him. Easy call.
Part of the DC United setup. 16 and 17, since some time on loan with Rochester Rhinos last year, after just failing to integrate into the DC setup on a consistent basis. And it's proven to be a big addition for Los Dos. So throw it now for Tulsa.
Something to point out, maybe it's just my own taste, but the back line of Galaxy's been very casual on the ball in certain plays, and a little too casual for me.
Just trying to button it up. Question, they do have the physical attributes to excel, and they have the size and athleticism, that's for sure, but coming together from an organizational standpoint is just proven to be a little bit elusive. Diagonal trying to pick out Tavares, and it's claimed by Hernandez. Possession short-lived at one back. Busher right in the center of it once again. And Zanga claims it. And here come G2. Wide on the right-hand side, Jonathan Hernandez. Mendez is pushed forward into his central role with Aguilar now operating right on the right. Zubak coming back central. This is where the Galaxy here, Brian, could really do with a good spell.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that they're trying to keep it in play out of the back, but on certain plays, as you see there, you got some casualness. There's one bad touch, and then it's a dangerous play.
Risky proposition. Negative ball there from Busher. Very busy with his feet tonight is Wade Hamilton, the keeper. Probably a little too busy for his own liking.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And of course, a win for the Galaxy. You can see them overtake Fresno FC and move to within 1 point of both San Antonio and St. Louis. Put themselves 4 points off the playoff, potentially. If everything falls as they hope it would by the end of the evening, we shall see how the dust settles. For Tulsa, a win would see them move level with both the Galaxy and Las Vegas Lights, as well as Rio Grande Valley, potentially. Just trying to get off the bottom is the mission right now. That one Will drift out of play, so a throw in for John Raqueo. USA under 20 from Santa Barbara. And you get a good look at Mike Munoz, the 34-year-old from Bellflower. Says he's very excited about tonight and elated about the way things have turned around. And I'll tell you what, you scored 20 goals in 5 games. How can you not be smiling about it?
Yeah. He's been very happy as of late, but he still wants to see the whole package come together. The Galaxy's given him some crummy goals in the past. Ooh.
Zonga for Zubak, takes a deflection. And the direct route nearly paying dividends for the Galaxy. Good link between midfield and the attack, and Zubak just playing on the edge.
Here's a great through ball, great weight, puts it right into his stride, and Zubak gets a corner kick for us.
They cashed in the last time, second of the evening. Boucher to take it midway through the first half here. This could be a pivotal moment for both of these two. They took it short, and Boucher will pump one in right into the heart of that Tulsa defense, and they do just enough. Tracked down by Raquejo. This is Boucher. Oh, he's done brilliantly. Boucher slips past one, squares it. Emmanuel Apia calls his own number, and plenty of power behind that, but covered up nicely by Fabian Cerda.
Yeah, the clearances need to be cleaned up a little bit from Tulsa there. You see Boucher finds himself back on the ball, has his head up, fine, and I mean, why not shoot from there? It's as hot as LA Galaxy's been as of late.
Gotta have a go sometimes and test the wits of the keeper. Cerda's done well. His 11th appearance of the entire campaign. Just missing out on the one game. Already with just one clean sheet, however. Center of the park now for Jonathan Levin. His second season with Tulsa. Here's Morton again. Found that link well as G drifts inside just underneath Rivas, but they can't keep it. Aguilar. He's the goal scorer tonight. Galaxy just starting to settle just a bit. Zanga. Acres of space for the big Cameroonian, part of that double pivot in the center of the park. They'll work it wide, dropping it back now for Jonathan Hernandez, the 21-year-old from Pasadena. His third consecutive start, starting to make that right back spot his own.
Good to see another Pasadena lad out there.
Not that you're biased, sure. Ingola. Some troubles in the distribution. They resort to hoofing it down the line. It's coughed up. It could work out well. And here comes Tulsa squaring it out. Rivas drops it back. Hit first time over the bar. An opportunity wasted by the Roughnecks. And it sat up so nicely for the Serbian, Ivan Mirkovic, who was just waiting for it on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, the start of this play, we get a bad clearance. Almost like to see the ball go out, but then they make a mess out of it. The layoff is just, they had a runner coming through. He could have hit it first time, but here it is again. Yeah, you see number 2 coming on, clear with the shot. And
they had the chance from Rivas. Mirkovic blazing high, and they are creating opportunities if you're looking at it from an optimistic point of view for Tulsa. Just trying to find that sharpness in front of goal. Mirkovic slides it through. Nicely worked for Rivas, who hits it first time. Unable to control it is Michael Gamble, who has just the one goal this season.
It's almost been very explosive attacks out of Tulsa. Just from turnover. Oh, here we go. We got a dispossessed. But going back to that, it goes. We've had a lot of possession at the back, and then goes from one quick turnover, and they're on our goal immediately.
There's Boucher. Once again, just hounded by Mirkovic. Handled it really well. Jonathan Hernandez playing it back to the German. Credit Tulsa, they haven't deviated from their high pressure so far, making life difficult out of the back. Zanga. Markovic just pressuring as Apia slips his way around Gamble. Apia going the direct route, trying to pick out the on-rushing Zubak. Tulsa do well enough to clear their line. Levin. Rivas is bowled over in a clumsy challenge by Julian Buscher. So free kick here for the visitors.
Buscher getting a tackle in, tangles his legs. Easy call, but he's doing his job, making it difficult for him.
He's got stuck into this one. Here's Morton, who weaves his way inside. Good step forward from Apia to win it. Yanez, a talented teenager. Links up with Zubak, who's drifted wide on the left-hand side. Positive play, but that final ball from Zubak a little too heavy. They do win it, though, behind Rakeo, and the Galaxy continue their pressure. Rakeo squares it at the top now, and it was Mendez. Buscher! Oh, it's set up so nicely for the German. He struck it sweetly, but it was off target.
Yeah, we've seen him hit a few of those before. Comes off the little deflection. Great centered balls from the Galaxy. Comes out to him. Yep, another shot from outside the 18.
Several half chances for G2, but unable to capitalize for the second time this evening.
Hit it right, got over it, just not on target.
Tavares has done well, and he's been one of the bright spots on the left-hand side of midfield. It's going to be
getting them another set piece.
Yeah, it's going to be a booking against Los Dos.
Front the ball! Mendez! Mendez! Front the ball! Mendez!
Yeah, Buscher's second foul in last two plays, and picks up a yellow there, kind of late on that tackle.
A yellow card caution has been issued by the referee to LA Galaxy 2's number 18.
So Buscher collecting his fourth yellow card of the campaign. Just to tread lightly, approaching the suspension mark. Remember, 5 and you're out. Importantly, though, they've got to deal with this one first. And the dead ball coming up here. Tulsa going to claw their way back in. Great delivery, flicked on off the post. And the second chance blazes wide. And somehow or another, the Roughnecks failed to find the back of the net. It was sitting on a golden platter.
Both teams very upset here, I'm sure, as Tulsa would like to have finished that. And in the back line of the Galaxy, they go to sleep. There's 3 runners in the box. They're totally free. Unlucky comes off the post, and Galaxy very fortunate not to be tied here at 1.
Ugarte, who just couldn't react quickly enough, the Chilean. But they've had those tap-ins. We saw that earlier from Rivas. A chance of Mirkovic. I'm sure that's going to be one of the topics Mike Munoz will address here. Still 15 minutes from his halftime team talk.
As a player, those are so frustrating because you do your best to get up there for the rebound, and then it just comes too quickly. You can't finish it.
And stop Hernandez just gives it away. And just miscalibrating the runs right now. So the goal kick for Cerda. I'll tell you what, the Galaxy fortunate to be up 1-0, dodging several bullets. Just trying to tighten the screws, so to speak. Scored 7 against Las Vegas, as we mentioned last Saturday. Actually put 6 past St. Louis. So Tulsa able to win that back. The 6 goals coming back on May 9th. Zubak and Alvarez, both with hat tricks in that one. And you look at this, Brian, how much do G2 miss Efrain Alvarez right now as this robust challenge comes in?
To be honest, he's a very great player. I think the Galaxy has done well without him at times, though. I mean, we've definitely been keeping the ball. So when he gets back into the lineups, I'd love to see him get back and do what he does.
So back-to-back bookings here for the Galaxy. Certainly wish Efra all the best with the Mexico under-17 setup. Interestingly, changing his national allegiances after featuring with the USA youth system earlier in his career, but look at this challenge from Zubak, and that's just reckless.
Yeah. When the keeper's outside of his box, I mean, as a forward, I was like, hey, it's fair game. I'm trying to win that tackle. And so does Zubak.
The patented striker's challenge from Ethan. He elects his second yellow card of 2018. Here's Busher is swarmed down by a duo, and he'll get the free kick. Now the tempo not exactly at breakneck pace. Galaxy just trying to establish more control as we are firmly into the final quarter of an hour of the first half. Tavares now for Tulsa. Canadian's got speed to burn, doesn't he? And Zonga is getting stuck into the center of midfield, wins it back, sprays the diagonal for Yanez. Yanez did well on that touch and trying to work his way around Levin with the challenge from behind. He's going to get booked for it as well. He got the ball, but just too much of Yanez in the process.
Now, these are difficult plays. When we see this again, actually, he takes a touch across the defender's body, and the ball is very attainable. So you go in for the tackle, but he gets there first and results in a card. Here you go. You'll see as he cuts in, he takes the touch across his defender, and it's out there, and does a good job of putting his body in the way.
He got his money's worth on that
Yeah.
booking as well.
Yeah.
Getting all of Yanez to his credit, kept his balance. His pace and speed could be really problematic for this Tulsa defense. Able to cut inside as well. So free kick from about 40 yards out. Standing over it is Yanez, as well as Andre Zonga. We'll see how Tulsa approach the defending of this one. A defense that's conceded just 21 times. Yanez slides it through and too heavily weighted for Zubak. That's something they drew up on the training ground.
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. Plays like that, you'd like to see it work in a game type environment. I'm sure they've been drawing that up in the training field and seeing how it does.
Zubak timed his run.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little too wide, maybe still a little too close to goal if it's not weighted right.
There's 21 goals allowed by this Tulsa defense, the fourth most in the entire league. Ironically, Los Dos are allowing 5 more, along with Atlanta United 2 and TFC 2. A lot of those coming in the early stages, however. They've really tightened things up at the back in the last couple of games after that 5-1 thrashing by Phoenix. And accounting for their only loss in their last 8. As it comes back to the center of that defense, controlled by Francisco Ugarte. Experienced Chilean. Tavares dropping it back. Munoz. The Galaxy with all 11 behind it here.
Doing a very good job of keeping the ball in front of him.
Making those lines compact. Here's the problematic Tavares trying to wind his way around Hernandez. He's done well, but a great recovery from the Galaxy defender.
The burst of speed and the tackle still catches him. That's an impressive tackle.
Brilliant stuff, and off to the races. Here comes Los Dos looking for the counterattack. The goal scorer, Aguilar, trying to play the role of provider. The big switch easily intercepted on the right-hand side by Morton, who links up nicely with Gamble. And here comes Tulsa as this one gets stretched, playing it into the path now. This is Paris G, and it's G firing and saved by Hamilton. It's going to be a tough angle.
And it started from a counterattack again. Galaxy going forward, gets dispossessed. Chance comes back their way, and G decides to take a shot on goal rather than hit it across. I believe Tavares was in the back door. I like to see that maybe cross across if you're Tavares.
G provides that width on the right-hand side. He's the change in midfield from Brandon Cervania. One of 4 changes tonight for head coach David Vaudril. Remember, this is a Tulsa team looking for just their first win of the campaign. So play stoppage here. Less than 10 minutes to go until halftime. Galaxy team trying to find their way back to the playoffs after what was a miserable 2017. Saw them amount, of course, 31 points, 15 points off the playoff pace. Trying to get back to the finals, such as we saw a few years ago. Pretty lofty standards. So the free kick for Los Dos. Controlled that time by Munoz. Here's Josh Morton with the big switch on the left-hand side. Look good at moments here. Knocked it around well. Munoz setting up camp in the Galaxy half. They'll spray it wide. Morton again. Good looking cross from the rookie, but that one dealt with well by that Galaxy defense. Here's Zonga, meanwhile, for the hosts. Not exactly graceful from the Cameroonian, but he comes away with it and starts to push forward. Zubac has the overlap from Yanez. Young Teener pulls it up with that right foot, and it's easy pickings back there for goalkeeper Fabian Cerda.
Tulsa's been doing a really good job of putting pressure on Galaxy right now. There's another ball played into the left.
They've got some progress just on the edge of the box, angling one in. Nicely repelled by Requejo.
A lot of their attack going down that left side.
See how battles continue. And when you make it this midfield tandem here between the likes of Zonga and Busher.
Oh, I've been saying last game even, they're a very good pair. They break up a lot of plays, and when they find it at their feet, very calm on it, making distribution very, very, very easy.
Different little setup. We've seen Levin just sit in front of that Tulsa back four, playing that proverbial role as the number 6. Push forward now behind Rivas. Looking for some support. He'll get it from Morton. Too slow to it. Beaten to it by Yanez. You know what? He looks speedy and clever as the young 17-year-old, but it's G who's on it now for Tulsa. As Rivas wins it back, he flares out wide. Here's the Salvadorian looking for some options. And he gets it in the form of Ivan Merkovic. Locates Tavares. Flag is down. Width here from Tulsa. Just on the edge of the box. It's whipped in. It took a deflection. Or did it?
It's just that last bit of concentration for Tulsa, whether it be the finish or the cross.
Yeah.
Got so close. Here you see a little cheeky, tap to the outside wide. It gets, I don't even know if that was a cross. Might have been a shot on goal.
The old Krashat.
John, no. Come on.
When you have that many people in the box, though, you'd really like to see a cross come across. 2 open runners I saw.
Well, the Blakedown, get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blakedown on the USL YouTube channel. So back to Cerda, dying moments of the first half. It started so well for the Galaxy. You got the go-ahead goal just 6 minutes in. It's been Tulsa have created more chances.
Yet another set piece. Tavares causing problems down that left.
So another dead ball opportunity, and Tulsa would like to steal one late on. That would really lift their confidence heading into halftime. Might ease the pain a bit from a halftime team talk by head coach David Vaudril, who's shouting and imploring instructions from the touchline. A telling moment right now as Vukovic stands over it, the big Serb, trying to hand Tulsa a lifeline. Here in Carson. That one delivered and caught no man's land nearly was the defense. It didn't look assured, but they do enough. Delivery a little too deep from Vukovic. So takes a deflection for the corner kick. So we'll see what they draw up here on the delivery. Vukovic trying to provide that in-swinger. He's got a sweet left foot. And he'll tee one up, and Hamilton punches, and he punches very well. It's a good clearance from the G2 keeper. Touch back now for Munoz, who hits it wide. Ugarte, and here comes Tulsa. They belt one finally, but it goes wide. And the Galaxy defense absolutely undressed once again, but finishing letting down Tulsa.
Great combination play from Tulsa here. Plays it in, gets it back. Great first touch to put it in ahead of himself, and just,
Everything but the goal, Brian.
yeah, everything. A bit of frustration building up for Tulsa here, as you'd like to think they've done enough, but nothing to show for it.
Well, Twitter, the USL's official Twitter feed, keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Make sure to follow us at USL on Twitter. Zanga, that burst, likes to make those powerful runs out of midfield into the attack. This time he's out wide. Zubak setting up camp inside the area, just hovering on the edge of the box, and possession coughed up. It'll work its way forward for Gamble. Hold up play just letting him down, and once again it's Zaga able to pick it out of the spokes. Wide on the right, here's Aguilar's. Tripped up, no call from the referee, and Tavares comes away with it. Is there a burst from Tulsa here as we head into the final minute? Plus, added on time, if there is to be any. Wide on the left now, and here comes Ugarte, trying to provide that cross, and it takes a deflection off of Hernandez. Galaxy just trying to hold firm right now, despite some shaky moments. Clever stuff here in 1v1 defending. Well done from Angola, who did just enough.
Great quick turn, trying to catch the defender off balance. Turn to his left, get a quick cross or shot.
So let's see what's in the offing. This is critical as we head into stoppage time. 2 minutes will be added on. Plenty of time for the Roughnecks. So let's see what they can supply here. They've asked the questions, Brian. Is there an answer from their front line? Off the corner, left foot, headed up by Hernandez. It may drop. And it's Mirkovic, who's slowed by Zonga. And talk about individual defending.
Yeah.
Well done once again from the Galaxy.
He's awfully strong. Not going to push him off the ball.
Andre Zonga, of course, part of the setup last year. Mike Munoz had some disciplinary problems, but he seemed to have cleaned that up.
I like that choice from the keeper. You'll notice one of our players peeled off for a little early ball, but he noticed what minute it is. Nothing dangerous. Let's just get it up the field.
Well won from Morton. Levin touches it back. To the heart there for Ugarte. Vukovic. Tavares just couldn't control it. Easy enough for Jonathan Hernandez. It's going to be a handball against Ethan Zubak. As the first half begins to peter out just a bit. Mendez with the switch. Raquel, smart ball for the Galaxy left back. Nicely played by Alex Mendez, another one of those teenagers in the setup tonight. Yanez makes his run. Raquel just muscled off of it. Good experience play that time from Mirkovic, and the retaliation, hot-blooded challenge that time from the Galaxy defender, who's going to get a word of caution from the referee, and if he's not booked, he will be very lucky.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration from him. I know he wanted Boucher to show underneath, he got kind of caught holding the ball up a little too long and then dispossessed, a little bit frustrated.
Wide on the left-hand side, here comes Tavares. Is there a last-second burst here for the Roughnecks? Tavares gotten the better of Hernandez on several occasions, but the Galaxy defender has held his own, and that will do it. So the only goal coming 6 minutes in from Miguel Aguilar, but I'll tell you what, Brian, this Tulsa team has offered a lot going forward.
They really have, and I mean, even if you think of their backline, the defense, Galaxy's been scoring goals like crazy, and they only have one to show for it.
Clear-cut chances abound here for Tulsa, but unable to seize their chance, failing to put their shots on target, time in and time out. Meanwhile, Mike Munoz, a lot to think about, a lot to tinker with here coming up at the break. It'll be interesting to see, just to be a fly on the wall during that halftime team talk. Nevertheless, 45 minutes down here at the StubHub Center Track and Field Stadium. Our scoreline reads, LA Galaxy 1, Tulsa Roughnecks 0. Keep it right here on ESPN+. There's more coming up from the USL after this.
He cuts to the right, goes up against the end line, tries to get a cross away. He does, into the area. Bicycle, in on goal, score! Mauricio's in Wales, and we're tied at 2! Champion. Sensational.
The bright lights of Carson here, and a big night of USL soccer. It's a Western Conference affair, and so far so good for LA Galaxy 2, up 1-0 in a hard-fought match against the Tulsa Roughnecks. Happy to have you along, Christian Miles, alongside former Galaxy man himself, Brian Jordan. Brian, let's take a look back at the highlights. We start with the goal here, and well, you couldn't have scripted a better start for LA.
Our top assist man just making it look easy, putting a great cross in there, and I'm very happy for Aguilar to get this goal after working so hard in training, hearing good stuff from Mike Munoz. Gets the second chance there and puts it away.
Aguilar collecting his 4th goal of the campaign on his 3rd consecutive start, but then some defensive problems here for the Galaxy, Brian.
Yeah, Angola doesn't settle it as well as he'd like to, and then in his caught up in his play, he kind of plays the ball back, dangerous one to his keeper, and they get a dangerous chance out of it.
And several chances for Tulsa, some big bullets dodged here. They had some great moments and acres of space down the left-hand side of this Galaxy defense, but this time it's Rivas who, his first touch just lets him down.
Yeah, Gamble sprung through, great early cross, just doesn't put it away here for Rivas.
And then it would be Raquejo teeing it up. Golden opportunity to set up so sweetly for the German Buscher.
Yep. Yeah, he wants this one back. He favors that little volley.
And that one would go wide. Buscher involved in the early action here. and then a late flurry. The best opportunity is that flick on the header by Morton hits the post.
When you watch this play back on tape as the Galaxy, you got to be asking questions. I saw 4 open players there going into the box. You got to stay with your marks.
Well, they want to tighten up the marking, I'm sure. You just know that's one of the points that Mike Munoz is probably making to his team right now. All right, halftime here. LA 1, Tulsa 0. Stick around. There's more to come right here on ESPN+.
Welcome to another episode of The Breakdown. This week I've handpicked some of my favorite plays from the week. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Back across to lose. Iwolo, still loose, and how about?
This play from Iwolo starts here. You know, he wins the header, and that allows his striker to go through on goal. The commitment to win the header and then follow it through with the run and the support as well, because he could just stop. He could stop his run and expect the striker to score, but he follows it through. He doesn't take the best of first touches when it comes back to him, but he has the composure to take another touch and relax. So a cheeky double nutmeg to finish it off.
Sort of there, finds Perez. Perez with the back heel, it's there, and a goal! Joaquin Rivas!
This play is more about the assist. When he picks it up, it's very difficult because he has 2 defenders on him. He uses his awareness, his spatial awareness is fantastic. He tries to stay in the box as long as possible, and then the support run from Rivas is also tremendous. It looks an easy skill, but it's not. It's very difficult. And again, Rivas' finish on the weaker foot into the far corner. Again, it's a brilliant play.
Combine well with others. We saw him a few weeks ago with Fresno.
Oh, this is dangerous opportunity here, strike, and we are equal!
This has to be one of my favourite plays from the week. When Lopez gets the better of his defender here, he sees the keeper coming out. His first touch actually takes him on a tight angle. And when you see this frame here, he knows he's got 3 defenders rushing back to goal. So that when he takes his strike, he knows that he has to put pace on it. Now, to put pace on it from that angle is a very difficult technique. I don't think if he had that moment again, he could do it any better. You know, it's a fantastic finish, perfect, with 3 defenders running back to goal. It has to be my favorite play of the week.
Mendez, good ball. Here's Zubak looking for number 3, and he scores!
The connected movement from Ethan Zubak and his fellow strike partner here is fantastic. You know, he comes to feet and he drags the defender with him, and then he uses his agility and his speed to get past the defender with just a simple movement, a simple step. Again, to have that partnership with your striker is something that's very strong, and it will hold him in good stead for the season. There's a reason why he's player of the week. Out of his 4 goals that he scored, that was my favourite, purely because of the movement and the tactical awareness from both of them.
When I saw Alex Mendez get the ball from an entry pass, I just knew I had to spin off, and when the ball came right to my feet on top of the box, I just decided to go for it and finish it.
I hope you've all enjoyed this week's episode of The Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Temperature is dipping just below 70 degrees on what is a very hot day, giving way to a nice cool evening here in Southern California. And the LA Galaxy with several brushes with disaster. The same back 4 here, Brian, that we saw in the last game in that big blowout against Las Vegas Lights. But let's keep it honest here. They did concede 3 to Las Vegas. What do LA need to do here looking forward to the second half? And what are Tulsa looking to rectify in terms of trying to go forward?
Tulsa, it's just that last piece, that last touch of brilliance, and putting the ball away for them. They're very frustrated going into half, I'm sure they are. As far as the Galaxy, in the last 2 wins we have picked up at home, done very well to get those goals, but if it wasn't for those goals, we have let a few goals go in. We got to clean that up at the back. Tonight, you know, some of just being too casual on the ball I've seen, and that's come into play.
Well, we'll see if they can get things going. And Julian Bushier at the center of it here, part of that double pivot. Ethan Zubak, not many chances here going forward for what is arguably the hottest striker in the entire league right now.
Yeah, I've noticed he gets sprung through and behind a lot, and tonight we really haven't seen that. Maybe the few times he has, it's been into the corner.
Well, we'll see what's on tap right now. This is a Galaxy team that has scored 20 goals in their previous 5 games, and despite the fact that they really snuck one off that corner kick, and that second ball from Miguel Aguilar continues his great run right now, not a whole lot going forward. Mike Munoz just trying to tighten the screw here. We shall see what's in store for half number 2. Keep it right here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere, folks. When we return, it's the final 45. Tulsa and LA straight ahead.
My woman be on fire, but I run faster on high, 'cause it's the beat that I My world might be on fire.
And welcome back to the StubHub Track and Field Stadium, the newly refurbished StubHub Track and Field Stadium. Happy to have you along in a big match here in the USL Western Conference. LA Galaxy 2 at the 12th position and last place Tulsa. It's a 0-0, and the only thing separating these two, a 6th-minute strike from Miguel Aguilar. Christian Miles alongside Brian Jordan. Brian, we look forward to the second half. What are you looking forward here in the last 45 minutes?
I would like to see, I know I might be being a little critical here, but the Galaxy brand of football is, a lot of keeping the ball, but just that casualness has resulted in a lot of chances for Tulsa, and I'd really like to see them maybe pick the times in which they are keeping it, and sometimes you just need to clear the ball forward. Be smart about it.
Perhaps the scoreline not exactly indicating the true nature of this game. Statistically speaking, nearly 60% of the possession here for the visitors, who've looked organized. They've created chances, but finishing just letting them down, and they're looking to just tighten the screw. But that's kind of been their modus operandi all season.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier too, if they put a few of those chances on goal, it's gonna be very, very scary for the Galaxy.
Well, we'll see. The Galaxy looking for their 3rd win of the campaign and trying to record another victory, back-to-back home wins here after that big 7-2 thrashing against Las Vegas Lights. The goals have been coming in abundance, 17 in their last 4, and they were struggling early on, make it 20 in their last 5, putting 6 past St. Louis, 7 past Las Vegas. They got 3 in a losing cause against Phoenix. Just trying to get it right here. You look at the stats, 6 goals, but most of those 6 shots, most of those half chances, just 1 on target for the Galaxy, and likewise here for Tulsa.
Tulsa's done a good job of keeping Zubek kind of quiet. I'd like to see him incorporated into the Galaxy offense a little more.
We'll see what's set up here in the second half. Zubak leading the line. Starved for service, you could say. Playing really, in essence, is what we've been told is a 4-4-1-1 with Mendez underneath. Those two just haven't found that link, that understanding just yet.
Yeah, with as much possession as Boucher and Zenga have been able to produce there in the middle, we haven't found it in our top striker where we can hold it and kind of incorporate our team up the field.
And Tavares has had some positive moments for Tulsa, wreaking all kinds of havoc down this left-hand side. I'm sure it's something Mike Munoz addressed as well. Meanwhile, for Galaxy, having some positive moments in wide positions themselves. And this is Yanez providing some inspiration, but fleeting at best. And Aguilar really in a utility role has come out wide, tucking inside, but the Galaxy looking for a little bit more organization. We are back underway. Happy to have you along. It's the 13th game of the season for Los Dos, the 12th game for the visiting Roughnecks, and the first of 2 meetings between these two. These two, again, will tussle at the end of the month on the 27th in Oklahoma. And once again, a player down just to start things off, just 20 seconds into the second half, and the Tulsa medical staff will have to come out. It's Mirkovic who's down after that challenge. And he's kind of been at the center of everything. They funnel everything through the 31-year-old experienced Serbian.
Yeah, that would be a big loss for Tulsa.
Had that chance on the edge of the box early in the first half. Bringing in 4 changes here. A team looking for, as we mentioned, their first win of the campaign. Have a look at this challenge.
Yeah, the ball just gets out in between them, 50-50. Actually, he comes in kind of hard. It doesn't look like our Galaxy player gets him too bad.
It was Andre Zonga just catching that right ankle of Mirkovic, and that's what he's appealing to the referee.
Let's see this again. He comes in. I think they just both tried to play the ball and kind of came in and clashed.
The Galaxy will get it. Mirkovic will have to come off momentarily, so for the time being, it will be Tulsa down to 10 men. 22 goals they've conceded this season. You include the Aguilar strike. The Galaxy looking to start much like they did in the first half. Here in the second, Tulsa looking for more of the same as the better team in the last quarter of an hour. It's a long ball over the top. Ingula fails to deal with it, and once again we're seeing some poor communication and some unassured defending back there. That direct ball really causing problems.
Yep, keeper plays one over the top, and just from one pass, springs a player in behind.
So we'll see what Vukovic has up his sleeve.
Angola does a good job of just making sure to shield that out at the end, but maybe the keeper got caught coming out, staying in his goal.
They brought up Ugarte. The service coming in for Nemanja Vukovic. He'll retake this one.
Must be some players roughing each other up in there.
He's going to have a chat with Tavares.
Yeah.
Big, strong Ghanaian. It's his 4th appearance of the campaign, Tavares, but my oh my, he's going to be first name on the team sheet if he continues to play like he did in the first half.
He's been a nuisance on our keeper.
So Vukovic leaves one up, keeper on his line, and that one just goes wide of goal and drifts over the end line. So second corner in succession, make it 5 on the evening for the visitors. Tulsa Roughnecks looking for their first ever win away to Los Angeles.
Yeah, we got a little wrestling match in between Wade Hamilton, our keeper, and Tavares.
Tavares just fronting into the keeper there. That one whipped in and headed clear. Just on the edge of the box. Ingela rises and Gamble, and everybody going down in a heap. Just on the edge of the penalty area, and it was an ugly collision.
Yeah.
It was Ugarte, I believe, just colliding right there.
Yeah, both players playing the ball, just colliding heads. Both of them go down.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. And that's Jean-Jospin Angola, second-year defender and of Cameroon. Coming over along with Andre Zanga from the Kaji Sports Academy in their native Cameroon. And been a big boost to the spine of this Galaxy team. Angola, a big, robust physical presence at 6'2", extremely athletic. And you look at his tandem with Emmanuel Appiah, and that's one big, strong, hulking duo at the back. So he'll have to come off. Landed rather awkwardly as well here, but not take any chances when it comes to head injury, as they really closely follow that concussion protocol.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. The littlest knock to your head just knock you cuckoo.
Take their beatings, that's for sure. So for the time being, Los Dos down to 10. Never seen that 1-goal lead here.
Little fun fact for you, did you know you lose 7 brain cells every time you head the ball?
Medical trivia with Brian Jordan. This will keep me coming back each and every week. Good stuff. Somebody did their homework.
I was told that so many times from my father growing up.
7 cells, right?
7 cells, and I hit the ball quite a bit.
I didn't head it hardly at all. It doesn't really do me any justice. I have to find another explanation. So back it goes for Fabian Cerda, largely untroubled despite conceding early on. A lot of Chilean flavor out there with he and the likes of Munoz in front of him. They go down the left-hand side for Nemanja Vukovic, who runs into a real headstrong Jonathan Hernandez. Provides a physical element on the right-hand side. Vukovic, great-looking
Nice
cross, and keeper fails to deal with.
Oof.
So it was Hamilton showing some vulnerability on that high ball there.
Vukovic and Tavares has been doing so good getting high down the outside back with great service. I don't know what the keeper's doing there. He comes out. He's been sure of himself this game, but just one little play.
And no one attacking that ball either for Tulsa.
Thankfully for Galaxy.
So Vukovic will take it on that far side. Just trying to claw their way back level now, and this one much better defended by Alex Mendez, who really leaped well before Hernandez gives it a ride. So important, these intra-conference games here, Brian. Almost a 6-point swing at stake.
Yeah. With the win, that I think they'll be 1 point out of the top 10 in our bracket.
Works its way forward. Tavares, good soccer now, but at final ball, a little bit too far behind.
And a little bit too unselfish from Tulsa.
I'd like to see a little more ruthlessness in front of the goal, but Tavares thought he won it back, but it's going to be Aguilar winning the free kick for the Galaxy.
Yeah, going back to that play, I like the idea of the little dummy there, but you've had so many chances you haven't put on goal, you need to start taking your shots.
Galaxy with their 2 wins, coming at the expense 6-3 over St. Louis. Back on the 9th of May. And that 7-2 win last week. In between those games, they were thrashed 7-2, conceding 7s away to Portland. But here's Tavares, gets in. Tavares denied by Hamilton, who did really well. He atoned for that mistake.
Yeah, Tavares being so dangerous. That's what you want to see out of your outside middies. He goes in on the left, cuts it back onto his right. And here we go again. A little cut back across, puts it on his right. Does everything, and keeper just comes up with a huge save. Great composure just to keep that at your feet, bring it across the defender, and make the keeper make a play.
Kept it low, and I tell you, that is much more difficult than it looks, especially when you're 6'2". Angola clears.
With the time that he created in that, though, you'd love to see Tavares maybe just put it high. When you get in like that at that angle, the higher you put it, whether it be front post, it just makes it so much more difficult in the keep.
They've only scored 10 goals this season. That's been their Achilles heel, finishing these moves. It's a good shape about this team, a discipline. They've been able to exploit the gaps to their advantage. Long angle ball cut out by Hernandez. He's shown well on the right-hand side, especially against a real tough customer in those individual duels with Tavares. And those two renew acquaintances once again. This time it's Hernandez getting the best of the Ghanaian. And Hernandez showing off his physical strength, but he succumbs the free kick in the process. Fascinating duel between those two as Angola misses, but it's cleared away. Vukovic, clever first touch, beautifully played from Tavares, and here's Joaquin Rivas, the Salvadorian, has his pocket picked. Adroit stuff there from Zonga. Boucher now, trying to ignite the counterattack for LA.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, with all the possession that Tulsa's had, I'm gonna have to say I'd like to see more shots out of them, even if they're from outside the box here.
Good spell this from the visitors. It's Tavares. No way around Hernandez, but it lasts off of the Galaxy right fullback. So corner number 7 arising now for the Roughnecks, who've really been on the ascendancy in the first 10 minutes of half number 2.
Defender does well there. Tavares so dangerous with that speed, showing him to the line.
This is a critical moment here. You've seen some great service put in by this man. The experienced Vukovic, 34 years of age, whips in another good ball, and a nice piece of defending back there from Emmanuel Appiah, who rose magnificently to win it. And off on a run is Zubak.
Yeah, great clearance there. Takes a knock after he heads this one out also. Yeah, it was always going to be his. Does well. Oh, a little bit of collision. Not as much as I might have thought.
It's part of the trade.
Be surprised how much contact goes on those corner kicks before the ball even comes in. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, it looks often like a rugby scrum.
Yeah.
Mendez back for Appiah. Former St. Louis FC man coming over from their Western Conference rivals. But here goes Zonga with a thrust through midfield. Aguilar joins in. Nice piece of last-ditch defending back there from Ugarte.
Great attack from the Galaxy.
Look sharp on those moments on the counterattacks going forward.
Yeah, it's a burst of maybe 2 or 3 passes, and Galaxy's sprung in behind almost.
And Zonga just dwelling on it too long. Concedes possession. Mirkovic for Tavares. Slips it right past Busher. Clever stuff. Great passing here. Tavares. Rivas. Wide on the right-hand side. Morton joins in. Great ball early played. Saved by Hamilton. What a slickly, well-constructed move by the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Keep it so well. They get it wide. They do everything. But that cross has got to be along the floor. Make it easy. Make it easy for your strikers. Make it difficult on the keeper. You want to see this driven across the... Yeah, but he doesn't have too many options, but you want to see that driven across the floor.
Let the Galaxy off the hook. Good coverage at the near post by Wade Hamilton, now in his 5th appearance. Still clinging to that clean sheet, but he's come under heavy duress. Edge and corner kicks this evening, dramatically in favor of Tulsa with 8 to LA's 2. Vukovic on the delivery. Puts in another good ball. Keeper comes for it, and that one off by just a hair. It was Ugarte who just flung himself at it.
I think Angola gets the smallest little flick here. It's the smallest touch, but the biggest touch to clear that.
Hamilton just trying to fully extend and get a piece of it.
As we see this ball come in. Ooh, I can't tell who touched that. Maybe even off the striker. Gamble? No. Alvarez. Just not enough of it. When you get up for that header and you get some body contact, which the defender does well to do, it kind of throws your body off and you're not able to get the touch you want on it.
Yeah, it's slightly undercut there too by Jean Angola. Another bullet dodged. Busher, you need to really grab this game by the scruff of the neck, to LA right now. Oh, poor clearance from Ugarte. It may open the door for Zubac, but cleaned up well by Claudio Munoz, experienced Chilean campaigner. Munoz actually capped twice by the Chilean national team. Wide on the left-hand side now. A little used Yanez trying to get involved.
Great vision to pick that pass out, Busher.
Trying to push it forward. Zubac in an offside position. Track down on the right-hand side. And it will be a Tulsa throw as we hit the hour mark. Just the one goal, but plenty of chances. So the touchback for Fabian Cerda. .39 saves, those 58 shots he's faced. Not a bad percentage. Work it through the middle here, just showing too much of it is Levin. Careless in possession now. Slight gamble now and a turn this time for Mendez, who's ripped to ground right in front of the referee. He's going to have a word this time, and it's going to be with Ivan Mirkovic.
Smart foul, though. As a defensive midi getting dispossessed there, if you do lose that ball, just your back line is back there. And so he's got to be more careful on this ball. I see that's a smart foul, professional foul as we call it. Yeah, it was Jonathan Leuven that dispossessed.
So no booking. Back the other way we go.
Jonathan has done very well on the ball tonight for Tulsa, just getting caught up there.
A little higher pressure right now as Zubac trying to make it awkward. Here's Mirkovic, who's done well. Locates the likes of Gamble. Trying to play it for Rivas. One back by Apia. He sends it down the line, and here comes Yanez, but not even his young teenage wheels are going to get to that one. Asking a bit of the 17-year-old, part of that LA Galaxy Youth Academy. Along with he and Mendez that have come through the system. Starting to come off the conveyor belt here when you throw in the likes of Efrain Alvarez. Levin past Mirkovic, claimed by Mendez. Onside for Zubac. Heavy on that touch. It may drop, but off comes the keeper, Cerda, who did very well. And off to the races, and here comes Vukovic, who heads forward, a full head of steam, cuts it on the inside. Aguilar unable to disrupt it enough now, and Rivas plays it for an onside Tavares. This is dangerous, something brewing now. Rivas thinks about it, trying to put it on that stronger left foot. Vukovic, first time hit, nice cross, but a better header away That time from Emmanuel Appiah.
I'm not sure. You tell me. I feel like Tulsa's being too picky with what they're trying to produce. Put it on their favored leg. I mean, we all do that as players, but you need opportunities. Take the shots.
Vukovic, rather Mirkovic plays it in. Far side for G. Just lost one up. Keeper stays on his line as Tavares knocks it down, but only to the feet of Mendez. They do get it out of their own half, but all too easily relinquishing possession. It's been all Tulsa here in the second half. Morton losing out, and it will be a throw for the Oklahomans. Team that finished in the 7th position last year, losing out to San Antonio in the first round of the playoffs. Oh, and Engela's made a hash of this one, and Wade Hamilton bails him out. They're not out of the woods yet. It's Rivas. And once again, Engela atones, and a save in the end from the Galaxy keeper. What a flurry of chances that fall by the wayside. Emblematic of the way things have gone tonight for Tulsa.
Engela getting caught up at his feet again. A little reminiscent of the first half touch. Here, let's see it. Kind of just gets caught up underneath him. What a great save. So sure of himself to come out at that time and makes another one. Engela making up for that.
Yep. They come in with corner number 9. They'll retake it. That communication, it's Engela just lacking confidence right now.
I mean, we've all had that touch, but it's when and where you can have that touch, if you will. If you're a center back and it does get caught up under your feet, you almost need to just know it needs to get out of the box.
Well, he does atone for himself, making that clearance,
Yes.
and Rivas, it was on his weaker right foot. All credit to Hamilton. He's gotten down on a couple occasions this evening, made some good saves. He's acquitted himself all in all pretty well. He'll have to deal with this, however. Vukovic puts another sublime ball in, but it's a good clearance, and it falls to Andre Zanga. On the first touch now, and it's worked its way forward, and here comes Yanez, and he's trying to get in on the keeper. It's Yanez, bowled over by the defense, which does well. Yeah. Brilliantly played out of the back, and wonderful counterattack defending from the Tulsa Roughnecks. On the near side switch, Vukovic thinks about the cross, hits it. Goalkeeper exposed on that far post, and again, a chance spurned by Rivas.
Oh, a lot of chances coming in the last minute here. Going back to Galaxy's attack, we get in behind and you're told as a striker to put it across the defender, but they make a great play. And then it comes back to our own end, and Tulsa just can't get the finish down.
Meanwhile, offside against Ethan Zubak. Yanez was in. Credit the pace, though. Morton, and then on the other end here, Vukovic.
Yeah, Vukovic been playing so well. Puts it back door. Alvarez,
It's got to be better.
Yeah, from your leading striker, you'd like to see that just headed back across the keeper.
Yeah, Rivas just in that position, the Salvadorian. More times than not, he'll put him in, but it hasn't put his best foot forward. Talk about not having your shooting boots on. Meanwhile, the Galaxy trying to work it up now. Let's take a bite out of this attack. Nice twist and turn from Yanez. He fires, takes a deflection, and the Galaxy will have the corner kick number 4 on the evening. Just trying to take some of the sting out of Tulsa. Good circling around the Galaxy here in the second half. Not a lot for Serta to do back there. Just trying to steal one, much like they did in the first half here from a corner situation. You see Mike Munoz imparting some instruction there for Jonathan Hernandez, saying, hey guys, get it together, tighten it up. Julian Boucher to deliver, and straight into the waiting gloves of Fabian Serta. He'll give it a long punt. To say excellent distribution out of the back, controlled nicely by Gamble, who couldn't bring it down. This match starting to get a little bit stretched.
Yeah, Serta's put A number of balls in behind for Tulsa tonight. Distribution's been great over him.
Morton now, Munoz. Galaxy content to absorb wave after wave, but it hasn't suited them well, but it's given away out of the back. We'll see the first change tonight here, and it will be for G2, and they'll bring on their big striker, Justin Dillon. He's got 3 goals so far on the campaign, and he's going to replace John Ingula. So this is a tactical switch here, Bryant,
yes.
An attacking move by Mike Munoz.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, actually. Angola, though, you know, he's had a good night, besides his few touches at the back. But want to see a few more goals go in here, I think.
We'll see how this translates in terms of a setup now for Mike Munoz. A logical conclusion, 3 at the back as they look to push forward.
Yeah, I would just be so surprised. I think they dropped someone back. I think we're still playing 4 at the back.
Yeah, Zonga is going to drop in alongside Apia, so no change of shape, but in personnel, and Dillon will just play in that role.
Yeah.
In midfield, a little deeper than we're used to seeing, or sorry, he's going to play farther up as Boucher continues just alongside in midfield, but different role perhaps in the center of the park. Maybe Mendez slipping in a little bit deeper.
Yeah, first glance that sub seemed so awkward, but now seeing us have the same 4 at the back, we're playing just how we wanted to. So
considering the way things are going, the chances Tulsa's creating, probably would have been slightly ill-advised to go the adventurous route with 3 at the back, especially when you're up a goal. Here's Tavares trying to keep it in. He's done well tonight. Throw in now for the visitors, and there's a touch there from Hernandez. Petulant challenge brings down Vukovic, and he's going to be booked. So Jonathan Hernandez giving his first yellow card of the campaign. And does he lunge for the face here? Because what we saw it a couple of weeks ago was Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the head of Petrasso. You lunge for the head with your hand. That is a straight red card.
Yeah, there's a big difference between those 2 plays, but yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think he does make some contact with the head, so you got to protect the player.
Take a look at it here. Does he?
Let's see. I think he's reaching for the ball, and I thought at first he made a lot of it, but I think he smacked him right in the face.
I tell you what, let's not sugarcoat it. He's lucky to be out there right now.
Yes.
Because by the letter of the law, any lunge to the face, you're off. So Hernandez, just the yellow. Big break for the Galaxy right now.
Hey, goalkeeper, I'm going to tell you this is it. I don't have any more words for you. That last restart, no.
Shall see. They've got the benefit here, and perhaps as they say overseas, the rub of the green. It's time to take a little of the sting out of this.
Yeah, that was right in front of the 4th officials too. Not the best place to be making contact with the head.
The flick forward now is Dillon trying to provide that service for Zubak, and now the temperature is just starting to heat up right now. Zubak locking horns with the defender.
Yeah.
Not surprised to see this.
There's gonna be a card, I believe, in this. There's a bit of 2 players get wrapped up, and more than a wrestling match out on the field.
It's an unfortunate element, and it's been brewing for quite some time.
I think Zubak's gonna have a talking to here. Oh, yeah, so that's frustrating as a striker. You couldn't see it there, but he's trying to make his run, trying to pressure, and someone in the midfield just totally cuts you off. It looks like Zubak kind of slams him down. A little excess from the player, but
referee would be well advised to just take the sting out of this, have a word of caution. He's conferring with his linesman right now just to get clarification on this before we resume. Certainly the temperature's starting to heat up. So the referee coming over to confer. And will resume here, having a word with his fourth official.
Yeah, I think what they're talking about here is, you know, you have a right to your position, and the defender for Tulsa, the captain, kind of gets in the way. It could be frustrating as a player, but you can't just slam him down like that. I'd hate to see him get a card, but it might be what's happening.
You know, especially on the heels, he brings to mind that Sergio Ramos challenge against Mohamed Salah in the UEFA Champions League final last weekend. Zubak just coming in slightly over the back of the defender. And I think that's what the referee's trying to adjudge here, trying to get it right. It's kind of the paradigm shift right now in the age of VAR, even though it's not employed here. It's certainly something that they're trying to really get their heads around, get the call right.
You know what he's saying there is, look, there's going to be contact in soccer, right? Just all that extra stuff on the ground just not needed.
All in all, pretty good job by our referee. And just a word of caution, no cards dealt, surprisingly.
That's what you like to see out of your ref, though. How many times have you seen just the easy, quick cards, and you're just so frustrated with them?
Now, Instagram, watch to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL. Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. So we resume, and I'm sure there'll be some hefty, lengthy periods of stoppage time following this one. And Zubak with his first touch since that incident gives it away for Rivas, who says thank you. He'll get the width now from Morton before he cuts it back inside, and supported by Levin, who's done well, and he gives it away. Commentators curse, and off to the races. Here comes Aguilar, and it's a 3v4. Now make it 4 with Zubak wide on the right-hand side. Steps through it. Flag is down. Zubak's cross, and good individual defending on this left-hand side as Ugarte really covered up well.
Yeah, Tulsa dispossessed there and does so good to get back and have numbers get back and behind that ball. Shows Zubak wide, and nothing comes out of the play.
Hey, look at this Tulsa team right now. The shape that they've kept, it's hard to believe they've just got the one shutout.
Yeah, not letting Galaxy get too many chances and getting chances themselves. That's why, as Tulsa, you're so frustrated tonight.
Especially against a team that's the hottest attacking team in the entire league right now. Here's Yanez, meanwhile, trying to get it going and ignite this Galaxy attack. He's got Zubak waiting for him, just behind Dylan, however, and finally cleared away. Aguilar.
Doesn't get under that.
Speculative ball from the Galaxy winger as Rivas goes down on that 50-50 challenge. It'll be a free kick for the visitors. So we get set for the final quarter of an hour. The first change coming up tonight for Tulsa. They're going to bring on Michael Binns, who will replace Ivan Mirkovic. So Binns on, Mirkovic off, and we will see Frank Lopez step onto the scene now. The Cuban, the Galaxy, and a change up top as Zubak off. So Zubak cooling off from his torrid pace that has seen him record back-to-back hat tricks here at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium. Goal scorer was 7, so it'll be interesting to see how the complexion of this attack looks here for the Galaxy and how that move for Tulsa will work out.
Yeah, Zubak, probably a frustrating night for him. Didn't see too much of the ball, but that's why you put these attackers in, get that spark at the end of the game.
So the second sub for Los Dos, just the one switch so far for David Vadril and Tulsa. Back for Francisco Ugarte, who crosses the halfway line, links up nicely with Gamble, direct approach, but flag is up against Tavares. That was close. Yeah. He's playing just on the edge. So Frank Lopez coming on and trying to acquit himself and ignite this Galaxy attack. It's just gone flat here in the second half.
This is a bit of a test for the Galaxy, though. And a number of weeks ago, having a little bit of a lead and allowing a team to come back, I believe it was Phoenix. They find themselves up 1-0 in a tight game, and this is a little bit of a test for them.
And they found themselves up 3-1 at halftime in that game, but ended up losing out to Drogba and company by a score of 4-3. That one in Arizona. So the discipline starting to become an issue here tonight. Another player booked.
A red card ejected at the issue by the referee to number 18.
So Busher off.
Let's see this.
Came in rather recklessly on G, and it looked to be just a routine yellow.
Yeah, late challenge. I mean, the frustrating. Yeah,
second yellow.
The frustrating part there, though, is he has a yellow. I don't know. I feel like it's too weak of a foul. It's right there at midfield, but it's up to the referee's discretion.
Yeah, he gave the referee the option, and it really started out so brilliantly for Busher in the center of everything, breaking it up, distributing out of the back, but it's going to end in a tinge of inauspicious play. And so the foul, second bookable offense, and he's not going to be available for Los Dos' clash coming up on Sunday against Orange County Soccer Club.
Yeah.
And pleading his case in the fourth official, it's not going to do any good.
Yeah.
Julian, just going to tell you.
Yeah, well, you get that early one in the game, and you just got to put it on your mind as a player. Look, I'm going to have to change this part about my game. He's a player that does like to get stuck in defensively, and that's just got to be so frustrating for him.
Well, it's not going to really change the shape of the Galaxy here and their approach, because they've been absorbing wave after wave, but now down a man, and it's become, what was difficult is now going to become extremely difficult. How will they react? And can Tulsa take advantage of this extra man? So the free kick, Vukovic trying to provide the supply line from this dead ball. He's put in some great ones tonight over the head of the defense, and it may sit up on the second, but it pops out. Here's Aguilar, supported by Hernandez. Claimed by Munoz, heavy on that first touch, getting stuck in. That time was Dylan. And great pace on this left-hand side, and here come the Galaxy looking to hit against the run, and it may sit up. Brilliant save out of the back from Cerda.
Cerda's had a great game.
And here come the Galaxy starting to roar to life, but last off of Hernandez. Great pace on that left-hand side from Yanez trying to get in behind.
Yeah, Yanez rounds the corner on his defender. Finds himself just him and the keep. Maybe take a touch to the side or lay it back for his defender or his other player coming right on top of the 18.
Yeah, he went for glory, didn't he? Center of the park now, Bins, clever. Eludes the challenge of Aguilar, referee waves it on. Back for Claudio Munoz. Time becoming a factor now. Just 10 minutes left here for Tulsa.
As Galaxy, you'd love to see coming away with a clean sheet tonight.
Still a lot of work to do now. Left-hand side, touch. Just too strong from Gamble.
Yeah, comes across his body at full speed. It's so difficult to take that light touch,
So the Galaxy substitutes Lopez for Dylan, dwelling too far on it. And he coughs up possession. It's got to be quicker than that. Morton on the dummy from Rivas, and that left it open for Appia. I don't think Gamble was quite aware as to the game plan there.
One thing I do notice about their two strikers, a lot of dummies up there that I've really liked. That one didn't work out, obviously, but...
Yeah, there's a fluency to their approach, isn't there?
And a good understanding of the timing of what they're going to do, for the most part.
It's just putting that final piece together. Hernandez. 82nd minute. Happy to have you along here on ESPN Plus for USL Soccer. Two teams just trying to right their early season wrongs. Very much on the right track. 7 draws in their last 8 here for Tulsa. Well, Los Dos, after going winless in their first 8, just losing once in their last 4, but banging in the goals for fun. But that's not the story this evening. Just get the feeling, though, there's another chapter to be written. Ugarte trying to play it wide to the right. That's a poor ball out. It'll be a Galaxy throw. So Adrian Vera will come in. This will change the attack. Aguilar will come off. What do you make of this move here, Brian?
I think they're just trying to hold on tight, to be honest. You got 8 minutes and some stoppage time, maybe some tired legs. Get that third sub on the field and lock this down.
So Vera in. Aguilar did his job. The goal scorer coming off. Pretty good shift for him.
I notice he's going center mid. So they'll be looking for him just to sit there in that midfield and break up plays.
Yeah, it's almost a 4-4-1 right now with Lopez playing on his own up top, and he can't control it. Binns cleans it up, but gonna call it back. And a booking is going to be given, I believe, to Tulsa and Ugarte. Cards starting to pile up.
Tulsa was oh, here's the play again. Comes into, there's not much there. Both players seem to miss it for me, but I noticed on that last play though, Tulsa caught themselves dropping off too much, and they realized, hey, there's only 7 minutes left, and we gotta freaking get a goal back.
Especially when you're up a man. Yeah. Remember, Busher sent off on the 78th minute. It breaks open now, but asking too much of Justin Dillon. Got the numbers in attack. We'll see if it can pay off now. They'll bring it up behind Munoz. High line right now. Risky proposition from Los Dos. Zonga partnering Apia. And it will drift out. It's not what you're looking for Tulsa right now.
Frustration, the word of the night maybe for Tulsa.
Well, interesting to see Mirkovic come off, and it's definitely had an impact in the connectivity in the passing game here for the visitors. Gamble drops off. Binns, the substitute. He's done well, looking for that burst of pace. Plays it early, but no one on that far post as it will drift out of play. Binns has looked lively. Rivas up top. Right now for Tulsa, already 6 goals for the Salvadorian.
Not a ton of goals though coming from their roster besides Rivas.
You look at it, not much on offer. Gamble's got one, G's got one. Bit ado, as I mentioned earlier, to Fernando Arce, who returned after his loan spell from Independiente in Argentina was over.
Yeah.
He wasn't really banging in the goals, just the one strike for Arce in his 8 appearances.
But you notice he just had a ton of shots as I look at the stats here. They're missing a bit of that.
It kind of tells to the nature of tonight. Kind of a lingering problem. The point could still see them off the bottom. They're going to need a goal if they're going to get there. There's 1 point adrift of Seattle Sounders 2. This long speculative ball trying to meet the head of Rivas. It'll drop now for Vera, who finally gets his first touch. Hernandez. Lopez, and the connection once again just not there as Vera tried to link with Frank Lopez. The 2 subs not combining to good effect. So the reset once again. 3 minutes plus added on time left here in Carson. And LA looking to steal one is Munoz for 11. Mexican midfielder slips. Tell you what, they're going to go the Route 1 approach late on, but
offsides.
It's all fallen flat here in the last few minutes for David Vidrell. his assistant Lloyd Kinnear. Been around this game for a long, long time. They have plenty to tinker with ahead of their clash back home in Tulsa next Saturday against St. Louis FC. It'll be Lopez, the guilty party that time, getting stuck into Levin. And we'll get Adrian Husino available at right back. Tulsa comes back from his ban, but speaking of bans, it's another yellow card here going against LA.
A lot of yellows down the stretch here.
Yeah, needless yellows sometimes. Petulant challenges.
The legs getting tired, some frustration setting in.
So the booking against Yanez. Galaxy doing just enough and happy to let those precious second tick off. So Yanez collects his first caution of the season. So start to think about the corner flag here. Dillon dispossessed by Binns. He's done well. Gamble. A few touches for him in half number 2. Vukovic just trying to flick it, but too clever for his own good.
Yeah, you'd like to see Galaxy try to take control over the end of these games. Find that corner, keep it there, take the wind out of their sails.
Here's Apia, who knocks it forward for Requejo. Tavares offered a lot in the first half, not so here in the later stages of the second half. Rivas, meanwhile, poked away by the Galaxy defender. He's done really well under a swarm of white shirts, and he'll go down here.
Yeah, a little bit of a desperation reach from Rivas, and that attack catches him, and looked like it was a pretty hard knock.
The Galaxy, as I mentioned, that day with Orange County SC next weekend. That'll be followed by a little bit of a break before resuming play away to OKC Energy on the 23rd. And that coming 4 days before these two renew their acquaintances in Oklahoma on the 27th. Meanwhile, for Tulsa, Saturday against St. Louis, and then on the 16th, they'll be in Phoenix to take on Didier Drogba and company before another one against Orange County on the 23rd.
Next week will be a really good test for Galaxy as they take on Orange County. 5th place right now. Be a bit of a test for them.
17 teams in all in the Western Conference. This is where the games come thick and fast. 5 minutes to be added on here at Carson. Dillon on it. Going to take a bite out of this Tulsa defense. Hernandez, great looking ball, but it's met by the Tulsa defense. And play is opened up. Stretched now is Binns trying to find some space, and it's a silly, silly yellow card that time from Francisco Ugarte, who's going to go off here. It's his second yellow card. So Tulsa down to 10 men. Ugarte gets his marching orders, and that was right in front of the referee, and Ugarte imparting some words of advice to the match official.
Yeah, the referee had a word with him earlier when he got caught up and tangled with what was that play earlier?
It was Zubak.
I think it was Zubak, and again, off the ball, make some contact with a player, and you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get another warning after the talking to.
It's really too bad for Ugarte. He's had himself a pretty good match, so he'll go off. Both sides will finish down to 10 men. And that coming on the 91st minute. And he will be unavailable for the Saturday visit to St. Louis FC.
Seeing the replay again, actually, I'm not even sure he knew the player was there, but he does, as he makes contact, takes a little kick to it. Such a weird play.
And just giving the referee the impetus. So we had 5 minutes. We're going to get at least that here. Tell you what, it's not been what they call champagne football tonight. But 3 points is 3 points if they can hang on. And it's going to end in ugly fashion, and it's going to end short-handed for both of these two. LA will be interesting to see how they adapt to Orange County, who thumped them earlier this season, 3-0 without the likes of Julian Boucher, as Mike Munoz will have to make a change in midfield, but still has to see this one out. Don't want to let a silly error cost you share the points. 3 points. The Galaxy, as I mentioned, can move up to sole possession of 11th place, overtake Fresno FC, and put themselves just 1 point adrift of both San Antonio as well as St. Louis, and just 3 points off that final playoff spot, but a lot of soccer remaining to be played in this young USL season. Tulsa still with a little bit left now, and Rivas has done well. The approach play to be applauded, but the final product lacking that crispness and sharpness.
Tulsa's combination play is just so attractive to see, and then it's the last ball.
Here's Levin now. Batten down the hatches for Los Dos as Munoz sprays one into the corner. Was he offside? No. Morton trying to peel one off. Good defending. Courageous stuff back there. All hands on deck off Justin Dillon. And the corner coming up yet again. The 10th of the evening now for the Roughnecks. So Vukovic. Steady on, son. The Serbian puts in another decent ball, but to that far post, just overhitting people slightly. Meanwhile, Gamble squares it out. Levin! Straight into that Galaxy defense.
Yeah, if I'm the coach for Tulsa, I'm having a week full of finishing at training.
And it opens up now. Yanez off to the races. Levin backtracking now. Yanez, no! Should have been 2-0.
Yeah.
A big break for Tulsa. That would have been game, set, and match.
Yeah, put him away. Yanez wants that one back. Does so well to keep the ball in front of him.
Is there something in the offing here? Tavares wide on the right-hand side and running into a robust challenge from Requejo. And here comes Apia. Out of character, making that run into the Tulsa half, and Los Dos would be wise to try and take some precious seconds off the clock, but Lopez cuts it in, trying to find the onrushing Vera. Yanez calls for it. Flag is down. Is there one in the offing here? The square ball repelled well by Levin.
Yeah, on that replay, he gets it to his left, comes over, across it, and just pulls it wide of the goal.
So Requejo wins it and goes off on a scamper. Yanez will peel off. Just lost his footing there, so a throw in now for the visitors. Galaxy looking for their 3rd win in 5. G, who's dropped back defensively, sends one forward. Rising up was Vukovic, trying to provide a moment of inspiration. Nice looking ball, but there's Dillon at that far post. He did well. Like to have that big, strong presence so many times. You saw it from him in his collegiate career. He can drop back and play along that back line as well as up top. He's going to need to do the dirty work if the Galaxy want to take all 3 points. Precious seconds ticking away. Time of the essence. Vukovic, is this their moment? Sends it in. That's a poor delivery. Just took a slip there,
yes.
And not the time for it because he's been nearly flawless this evening in that department. And that's going to do it. The LA Galaxy ride a 6th-minute goal from Miguel Aguilar. They'll take all the points. It wasn't pretty, but hey, 3 points is 3 points, Brian Jordan.
Yeah, I'm happy for Mike Munoz. I know we've been talking a while about putting everything together, but I don't want them to get confused by that result because there was tons of chances that was created from Tulsa, so they should be watching a ton of video and correcting those flaws.
Lots to talk about here, lots to unpack. The Galaxy conceding chance after chance, but a tale of poor finishing today from the Oklahomans, who by and large were the better team going forward, offering more. Plenty for them to work on, plenty for us to work on as well. We're going to take a quick break here on ESPN Plus. When we return, Brian and I will take a look back at some of the better moments of this one and unpack it all next.
The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Alessandrini cutting back. Alessandrini! How sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward.
And we welcome you back to Carson. It's the StubHub Center Track and Field Stadium. And I'll tell you what, the LA Galaxy outshot and outplayed. But in the end, Los Dos are the ones that steal the 3 points. You look at the table, and it's happy reading right now as they move up into the 11th position, just behind San Antonio FC as well as St. Louis FC, according to the table coming into this game. Let's take a look back here, way back in the first half, Brian. The Galaxy really starting well. They started on the front foot despite some shaky moments in the first couple of minutes, but it was Miguel Aguilar really sneaking one in against the run of play via the corner kick.
Yeah, this ball again gets crossed in by Boucher. They'll be missing him and his assists next week. Aguilar, I'm so happy to see him get his goal. For Tulsa, you got a header, open man, and that chance just comes off the bar. So unlucky for them. Kind of their tale for this season.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. The header from Morton off the post. Then we head into the second half, and I tell you what, they put their foot on the gas. Engola looking discombobulated, tied up in knots at times.
The communication with the keeper, you just got to sort that out. You have training. Yeah, Engola.
So that one falls by the wayside. Wave after wave would come here from Tulsa. Nicely played through for Tavares, who was a flat-out terror in the first half. This is a great moment from him.
Yeah, he puts it on his right. Again, just making so much problems for our defense this game. But a keeper makes a big save, and he did towards the end of this game.
Tavares once again at the center of it. Nice link play. Wonderful passing. Slick as you like here. Morton, though, gets it all wrong in that final ball before it's repelled by Hamilton.
Yeah.
Made a couple of good saves in goal today in relief of Justin Baumstieg.
A few days of training of just finishing. Get these players' confidence up, taking those shots. Here's the touch by Engola. Yeah, I mean, he knows that. He knows that. Makes up for it with the header out, and keeper just making huge saves. Wade Hamilton really had a good night tonight.
Yes, indeed. Covering up for the mistakes on an unassured display at times from that back four, which was unchanged from the side that won against Las Vegas Lights. And then the breakaway here. Yanez had a golden chance to make it 2-0.
Yeah, he gets sprung forward here, and as a forward, you're told to cut across that defender, but the defender just too quick, catches up and muscles them off.
And then it got a little bit ugly and chippy.
Yeah.
Busher with his second bookable offense, 2 yellows. That makes a red. That on the 78th. And then it would be Tulsa trying to take advantage of the extra man, Bins, but then more disciplinary problems as Ugarte would see his second yellow.
Yeah.
They're down to 10 men. And then Yanez, who should have made it 2-0 right here.
Yeah, has it on his left, just pulls it wide right of that goal. It's so difficult when the keeper gets himself in a good position like that. You got to just take the touch around him, I'd like to see.
Well, not too shabby, but in the end, they're going to like this result as they went out 1-0. They get their second clean sheet of the season. Hey, let's take a time out here and look ahead to the next week's game. Coming up next Sunday against Orange County Soccer Club SC, a team that beat them 3-0 earlier in the season. You have no Julian Busher, an Orange County team that's playing pretty well right now, finding themselves in the 5th position. What are you expecting to see there?
I'd like to say this is a different Galaxy team. There's a lot more confidence in it. We didn't see the goals tonight, but it will be another home game. And if we can replace Boucher, which I'm sure we got a guy that's going to stand up and do that, I think it'll be a good match.
All right, well, you can keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. And, of course, which teams are hitting the peak performance in the USL, you can find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com Power Rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. All right, before we say goodbye, final thoughts tonight, Brian Jordan.
I'm very happy to walk away with these 3 points after the performance, but I will say more of a complete package from the Galaxy every week, and I'm happy they're building off of that.
Well, we'll see what happens, and in the end, it's a big victory here for Los Dos as they get their 3rd win of the campaign. Meanwhile, for Tulsa, their record sees them drop to 5 losses and 7 draws through their first 12 games. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us this evening. It was a heck of a lot of fun. On behalf of my partner, Brian Jordan, I'm Christian Miles saying good night from Carson, where LA Galaxy 2 beat Tulsa Roughnecks 1-0. So long, everybody.
So long.
He cuts to the right, goes up against the end line, tries to get a cross away. He does, into the area. Bicycle in on goal!